Welcome to the Last Co-op Podcast, your source of all things nerd and pop culture related all in one place. And this is episode number 42. And first things first, I promised God knows how long ago at this point, that I was going to download Gamepass and play it on Firestick. And I finally did that, and it was a miserable experience. I understand that, like, when you're Bluetoothing controllers and you're playing on a Fire Stick and all that, it's not going to be optimal. But like, the input delay is so bad, and whatever the game mode is they try to put you in on the Fire Stick sucks. And yeah, I played about, I don't know, 3 minutes and 14 seconds of Indiana Jones, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm not. I can't do it. I can't play through the whole entire game this way.
Got through the cinematic trailer and it's like, I just can't do
yeah,
it.
I pressed the left analog to move some trees or something, and that was about as far as I got. No action, no nothing. So, so I mean, I had high hopes that it would be, it would be playable, I guess. I mean, I guess it's not horrendous. You definitely can't play competitive anything on there. I wouldn't play an online shooter or anything that requires you to be to have hand-eye coordination. Like, if you just want to sit back and pretend like you're playing on an old plasma big box TV from 15 years ago that is just not meant for what you're using it for, that's what it felt like to me. So, because I mean, I even text Travis before, and I'm like, hey, I was like, we could actually use this and play through old 360 games or whatever. And he's like, yeah, just let me know. And I very shortly texted him after, and I was like, yeah, no, fuck this. I was like, we are not using this to be able to do it. So I don't know. I mean, I don't really know what the difference is, like, when you're using an Xbox and you're using Game Pass, because I mean, I guess because you download the game, I guess, is the main difference. Because when you use it on the Fire Stick, I guess it's the equivalent of remote play, of where you're trying to log into the Xbox cloud, and it says beta as well, which I didn't like. So I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, this is not gonna not go very well anyway.
They still haven't fixed that. It said beta since they rolled that out.
Well, it should still be in beta. It's not good, so they gotta fix some things before they take it out of beta. So it should be exactly where it's at. So yeah, I won't be playing it again, obviously, and I mean, I don't really care. It took me 5 months to try it, but yeah, not up to standards. And I guess that's goes to my point of what we said in other episodes is, will we get another console, or will we just go to streaming only? Microsoft sure as hell ain't there. So we definitely have to have a console, for them. I mean, I guess the same with the Portal. I mean, like, it's doable, but it's not. If that was the only way I could play video games, I might quit. Like that
Right
might,
there with you.
I might not play if that's how I had to do it. I might just be done. But so, with it being so bad and streaming games, Netflix prices are going up again, and they're blaming it on their vision for gaming as to why it is going up. Have you ever taken more than 1.5 seconds when you're scrolling through and you accidentally scroll over the video game section on Netflix? Or yeah, I mean, like, I've scrolled, like, I'm trying to find something, and it's like, oh yeah, documentaries and this and this and this, and then it's like, games, and I'm like, oh, whoops, and I just like scroll past them, and I don't give it a second thought, So, I don't want that to be a thing. I've no part of me says, let me get on Netflix to play games. And I know that most of them are not AAA games, obviously, but like, no part of me, even if it was a AAA game, that just say that there was a new game that they announced today, it's coming out in 6 months, whatever. Netflix exclusive. Suck my dick. I'm not playing it. Like,
no,
I'm not playing it. Like, it's just, I don't care. Like, that has to be a horrendous way to play a game. And, I just don't.
Hey, I'm guilty. I've played a few.
The
They weren't
Netflix
bad.
games?
Mm-hmm. Can't remember the name of them, but they're just like little NES games. They're pretty fun.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Kid plays them.
What's what I'm saying? But like,
Grand Theft Auto's on there too. San Andreas.
Well, that's probably where the last definitive edition port came from. It's probably the exact same thing that they put on Netflix because that thing was poorly optimized. But yeah, we're not there yet. I don't even know. I guess before I experienced the PlayStation Portal and Game Pass on like a Fire Stick and all that stuff, I thought like technology was, because just think of all.
I don't know if it's me or not.
The crazy things that you can do, on there. I just thought we were closer in technology, but I don't.
Are we all guilty of, Netflix? You got one more time to raise your price, and I'm leaving, but we keep staying.
Well, I don't know. I just lowered it from the 4K Ultra HD 4 screens, whatever. It was $24.99 or $25.99. Like, and there was a small part of me that, like, if I didn't absolutely despise the advertisements that I have to see, almost went to the advertisements. But Peacock has ruined me on ever using an app for that has ads. Like, they're in the worst places ever. You might pop up with an ad that's literally 3 minutes.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's just so long.
Yeah, and so your 40-ish, 50-ish minute, TV show, that you may be watching, it could turn into an hour and a half, just to be able to finish it. And
Paramount Plus was pretty bad too.
Yeah, but like I felt like they planned theirs. Like when I was watching Tulsa King, it was like, at the end of a scene. Yeah, like it'd be like at the end of a scene where you would be like, oh, what's gonna happen? And then an ad would roll in, I felt like they placed them correctly. And, Peacock, it's just like, I mean, to me, it's like YouTube, where it's just like, you never know when, an ad is
right in the middle of Hamlet. He's just in the middle of it, and it's just like, to be or not. And it's just like onions.
New Clorox cleaning wipes.
Yeah, I tried it on the last thing I watched on Peacock was Yellowstone, and I tried to watch it because my parents were like, "Yeah, it's a really good show. You should try it out." I'm like, I've heard other people talk about it. I'll try it. First episode, I popped it up. The little bar pops up. I swear I saw yellow 17 times, and I was just like, no, there's no way that I'm about to sit through this and have all these ads pop up and this 40-minute episode turn into an hour and 15 minutes. There's just no way. I'm not going to do it. So I didn't, and I still haven't seen the show. Netflix is not that good to be charging nearly $30 a month for their service.
I think it's the streaming, man. All the new things they're doing. The live streaming stuff, it's gonna keep.
But like,
price.
They gotta have something better, you know. Like, no, I mean, it's good. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I mean, it's cool that they brought Raw to Netflix, but I don't watch it, So, I mean, like, it's I feel like the $25.99, if we were in a thing where like we have the football games that they're streaming and they have the, Raw, even though I don't care. And then if UFC, the pay-per-views will never be there. That's so far out of the realm of possibilities right now. But if the UFC pay-per-views were on there, then like I would feel justified in paying that because like I watch enough of it to care. But like right now, Netflix is what I put on and act like I'm going to watch something before I fall asleep and scroll for 15 minutes. And then I throw something on and I'm asleep before the first scene's over. So, yeah, I mean, now that I'm at, what's the next one? $17.99, I believe is what the next one is. So like I'm okay with that. I suppose. I mean, I still don't watch it enough to, matter. YouTube TV, on the other hand, if that gets to $100, like I'm done. Like, that when I first got it was $84.99, I believe, or something like that. But like I when I first signed up for YouTube TV, it was $49.99, I believe. And in 3 years, I think, or 2.5, 3 years, something like that, it's literally doubled in price, and it's just
for the TiVo.
It's how they get you, man.
Yeah. I mean, and like, don't get me wrong, it's good, and it's like, it's probably one of the better ones, or if not the best one, out there for cable, alternatives, in terms of like, it pretty much has everything that you would want to watch. But at this point, like, what are we, $20, $30 below getting a cable box from Spectrum? I mean, like, not that I would ever recommend doing anything with that company, but if you had to, you would be, it'd be pretty close. So I don't know. It's just, I mean, things are going to continue to get it more expensive, obviously, but if my parents didn't want to have the Disney bundle at their house, there's no way in hell that I would have HBO Max, Netflix, the Hulu, Disney, ESPN bundle. What's the other ones? Oh, and then I got Apple TV that's in my Apple One subscription, and yeah, they're just no way. So
Paramount,
there's so many of them.
I'm going.
Hey, see, Paramount I get for free, so I'm okay with that one.
Was that Walmart Plus?
Mm-hmm. So that's like that. It's like what, $12.99 or something like that. I get groceries delivered for free. I get Paramount. If I want to return something from Walmart, they come pick it up from my house. Like, it's worth it, Now, like, if Walmart Plus came and they're like, hey, we're gonna go from $12.99 to $30, I'll be like, okay, well,
I'll go get.
I guess I'll get my own groceries.
I'll go and actually get exercise. I feel like every time we order from them, like, we'll get vegetables, and it's just like, you can feel soft spots. We'll start looking at like expiration dates, and we had one from like October last week. It was like October or something, October, November. We're like, this expired last year, like, literally.
You got to pick your own produce, man. Don't rely on
that. I would say
it's one of those, like, you only needed one thing. We're like,
I would say if you're gonna get meats, okay, I get, but like, I would say if you're gonna get produce or fruit, or like anything from like the deli, bakery, anything like that, like, you might as well get it yourself. Like, I understand that certain things expire very quickly, but like those market side, like muffins or whatever, that like come in like 4 or whatever, the kids like those. And so I got there's like banana nut ones and like some apple cinnamon ones. I looked at them and I'm like, these expire in 3 days. I was just like, now I know that they don't last forever. I was like, but surely this didn't get unloaded off of a truck. Somebody picked it up and got it to my house.
They do that shit on purpose.
I'm just like, and I get it. Like, I mean, you put the crappy ones to the front. You put the ones that are going to last longer in the back. Like, I mean, I get it. Like, that's what the store is going to do. But I'm like, well, kids, and I'm like, you're going to be eating these real quick. And they're just like, well, no, I want this. I'm like, well, I don't care. I was like, this cost me X amount of dollars, and that's what we're going to eat. So
we've had muffins 5 mornings in a row.
Yeah, I want toaster strudels. Shut up. I was just like, it's not what we're getting. All right, so there are rumors that GTA, well, not that I don't think there's rumors that it's going to cost more than a regular game, but I think some of the people like in the industry and all that are like pushing for GTA to cost $100, and they say that it will cover and help them recoup all the investment and time that went into the game.
It's fine by me.
Thoughts
make it $200. I'm still buying it.
See, I feel like on certain games, you can't do that though. Like, I mean, you have to have an industry standard, I guess. I mean, you can't just GTA can't come out and be like, "Hey, we're 150," and then the next game that comes out next week's $70 again. Like, I mean, I guess they could, but I have a feeling there's probably lots of reasons why that hasn't happened before.
I'm holding out for it going to Gamepass, so.
It's not. I don't see that happening.
I don't know. They need to. It's not going to Game Pass. I know that, but they need to say if it's going to be on all systems in the beginning or it's not. Because originally they said that PC was going to be like a year or 2 years down the road, but then they came back and somebody leaked that it might come out at the same time. We kind of talked about that last episode of like things releasing at different points of, I don't understand how that's a thing. Like, when they're creating a game, they're creating it on computers. So like should be somewhat optimized for a PC to begin with. So like, why on earth would you take a game that you've taken, how many years are we up to? 12, 11, however many years to develop and be like, hey, I know you've been waiting this long, but if you don't own a console, like you got to wait a little bit longer. I mean, I know the game's going to last for a decade after it's released, just like it, it does now. And people on PC are going to have the role play and, all the mods and everything that they did. So, I mean, in the end, it's not going to hurt. But like, if I only had a PC, like I'd be pissed that the game is not coming out.
I think it comes down to server space and like the servers, just everybody going in once. You kind of do it in stations.
I mean, I feel like when people do that, the companies still don't prepare for what they need to. Like, I mean, Blizzard, whenever they did that with, like releasing Diablo and, like all that kind of stuff, like, millions of people are going to play this game. And still, like, they'd even like stagger it worldwide to be like, hey, this country gets in at this time and this one gets in at this time. It's still fucked up whenever, it came time for, when it came time for it to be my time, it still wasn't, and shit was still broke. So,
how long do we think before online drops? 3 months after release?
I think that games need to stop doing that dumb shit. Like, they need to just release the game and for it to be complete. Like, that, I think that's a terrible strategy. Like, I mean, Call of Duty does it with, they drop their game and then a little bit later they give you ranked and then a little bit later they give you Warzone. It's like, well, you make a new one every year. Like, there's not enough time to do stuff like that. I guess the Grand Theft Auto wouldn't really make a difference, but like with I mean, like Call of Duty, I don't know anybody that personally plays this year's Call of Duty anymore.
I stopped playing.
I know people that did, and when I remember when it first came out, like I couldn't get on without seeing 6, 7, 8, however many people, playing it. I have no desire to play it. I mean, I don't want to play zombies. I don't want to play Warzone. I don't want to play ranked. I don't want to play any of that shit. Like, I got on. I played with my friends for a little bit. It was fun. There was so much shit missing from the game that the game became not fun. So I went and played other stuff. I mean, I guess if it's like a month or two, I mean, like it wouldn't be the end of the world. I mean, I guess that gives people time to beat the story and whatever, and then be ready for online. But I mean, there's some people that are buying Grand Theft Auto just to play online. They don't give a shit about the story. So, there's going to be a handful of people
who would do such a thing like that. Well, I did that with Red Dead.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, that's different. Like, I mean, Red Dead, I mean, it's a fantastic game. Don't get me wrong. But like Grand Theft Auto is way more well-known than, than Red Dead is. Even though
I'll tell you what, Red Dead's a lot better.
I was say in terms of story, the story in Red Dead it shits all over GTA, So even those older ones with the DLC, like don't get me wrong, those are great, but story wise, it's just better. Either one of them, the story's better. So, but But so if they come out and they're like, hey, it's going to cost you $100.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah. I'll cancel Netflix for 4 months. What are you talking about?
I mean, I would buy it. I mean, obviously, but I don't. I mean, I don't know how you put a price on someone spending a decade of their life, I guess. I mean, to make a game. I mean, I don't know how you put a monetary value on that and say, hey, that's worth, I mean, because 10 years ago we used to say that was worth $50, and then it became $60, and then now it's 70. So, I mean, then you look at things like Concord too, and it's like, well, those people spent 10 years of their life and they made a game, and now they don't have a job, So I don't know.
Rest in peace.
Well, I mean, that's what I mean, how do you? I mean, what does that equate to? I guess, like, I mean, obviously you have a budget for a game, and you're an employee, you're getting paid an hourly wage or a salary or whatever. But like, I mean, after 10 years, like, you can't say all that money in. I mean, like, there's not somebody that's been sitting at a desk for 10 years straight working on something on GTA. Like, that's just not a thing. Like, their effort has been in that and many other places. But I guess if you want me to pay you $100 for your talents, then I mean, I guess I could oblige, but I would rather not, and I would rather just keep it at 70. Like, I think the price of controllers is outrageous. So
yes.
I mean, I think that a controller costs more than a game. Yeah, I mean, just think about that. A controller costs more than a game. Like,
I mean, to be fair, it plays multiple games. One game doesn't. Well, I don't know if that even makes sense. But I was going
way out. We can play chess. And
I mean,
next 4.
Yeah. But you got to think. There's an assembly line of this controller being put together, and there's potentially years of someone's life that are going into this game. And you're going to tell me that man that pressed a button and watched the controller go down the conveyor belt, that's worth more than the game? Like, please don't take this and make games more expensive. This is not the point. we need to lower the price of controllers back to what it was, because it's just fucking outrageous. Like, I can't believe that a limited edition controller that's got a different paint scheme on it is $84.99. Like,
better be able to play the game for me. I just want to watch it at this point.
Make it make sense. Well, what pisses me off is, like, I bought a new PlayStation controller not too long ago. I opened that shit up, synced it to my my PlayStation and everything. I go down, I go sit down to play Marvel Rivals, and R2's attack. Well, I press it and I hear I'm like, what the fuck? I was just like, this is a brand new $85 controller that squeaks. I was like, it's shitty build quality, and it costs so much. Like, it just doesn't make sense. So
welcome. I bought the hot pink one, and my D-pad doesn't work.
Hey, I will tell you, any controller that you buy that is not the one that your console came with is a piece of shit compared to the one that your console came with. The one your console came with, it works better. The battery life is better. Everything about it is better. I still have my white one that I use all the time because, like, it's just better. Like, I bought the red one from Best Buy. The R2 button squeaks. I got stick drift in the right stick out the box, like, not even using it. Like, it's just the R2 button squeaks. I had stick drift out. Well, I can't now because this fucking dog ate the right analog stick off. So, so otherwise I would. But, I'm just like, I have stick drift. My R2 button squeaks. I'm like, the battery sucks. Like, I don't know what they changed in them. But then, like, I take my white one out. Perfectly fine. Like, that thing's been dropped, slammed. Like, I mean, but it works 10 times better than the new ones that I bought. So I feel like prices are going up and quality is going down, and
100%.
Unfortunately, that's the path that we're headed down. So, but to wrap this up, I'm not interested in the $100 ones. I know there's a collector's edition of GTA coming, and I'm buying it. So it could be $200, and it's being bought, and I'm gonna make a shelf right here. That's the first thing that's going on. So you get to see it every episode. But that's something we need to get back to. Collector's editions that are worth the shit. Not
what
just,
would you like it to include for $200?
For $200, I better get at least 7-day early access, and I don't know, give me some garbage crap online I don't care about, and I would say the character, but in the character, can't you choose your
You
character
just want to
now?
play a week early?
Yeah, I mean that's worth it.
Yeah, I think so.
Put that up on the wall.
Yeah,
Just
I was gonna say I was
the download code and just hang it up on the wall.
I was saying, isn't that what it is this time? Isn't it? You can make your own character. There's not like a main character.
Oh, for the story?
Yeah, I was saying, isn't that how it is?
No, I'm pretty sure you alternate.
Oh no, you're a girl. You're a girl. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. For some reason, I thought you could make your own, but no, that's right. There's a girl because we were fucking outraged if there was a woman in GTA that you could play as. Because that's what we need to be concerned with. So, all right. So there's new graphics cards coming out in 3 days from now that are going to range in price from I think the cheapest one's like $600-700. The middle one's like $1,000, and then the most expensive one's like $2,000. I saw a picture, and I don't remember where I saw it at. I think it was on Reddit, and there are people that are already in tents outside camping outside of a Best Buy, waiting to get the new graphics card. So at our old age, is there anything that could be released that you think would be worthy of sitting out and camping outside of a store for?
Beefy Crunch burritos.
Ooh.
Other than that, no, I'm too old, man. I'm not going out there and doing all that stuff.
I mean, for me, I'll sit here and refresh it on my phone over and over and over again, and hope that I get through and get one. There's nothing that is going to make me go out and camp on a sidewalk in front of a store for 3 days to get they're just my question is not really like, how do you want something that bad? It's like, what does your life consist of? Where you can just take a 3-day break from the fucking world and just go sit and camp in front of a store. Like, what decisions did you make in life that provide you the ability to just say, I'll be back in 3 days, and you ain't got shit to worry about? Like, you really don't have to
say to anybody if you don't have anything to worry about.
I was gonna say, you don't got a dog, you don't got a kid, you don't got a job, like you don't got shit to where you can just what are you gonna be doing? I'll be in Best Buy, in front of Best Buy for the next 3 days. If
great
you need
tent if you need me.
Yeah, I mean, that's just mind blowing to me that people do that, and you got to know how shitty of a feeling it is for you to do that, and then to not be one of the people that don't get one. Like to realize you spent 3 days of your life sitting in front of a Best Buy and you didn't get one because you got there too late. You got there on January 28th instead of January 26th, and so therefore you don't get one. Like, that's just, I don't even miss midnight releases, like that.
I don't
and maybe
back in the day it was fun when you didn't have responsibility in high school.
But I mean, still, what did you want to do? You wanted to get the game and go home. Like you didn't. But if you went, I mean, maybe it's just me. But I went to a midnight release. I came in there on 2 fucking wheels at 12:25, being the last customer getting.
I think the longest
there.
I waited was 30 minutes, probably.
Yeah, I
hopped in line.
I was purposely last. I come in there, I grab my game, I walk out, I go, all right, see ya. But that whole getting there an hour early to be first in line, like, no, absolutely not. I don't. I never did that. Never would do that. That's just that's just silliness. I remember one time there was a midnight release. I don't remember what it was for, and it was on that one on Grant Line. And I literally like was driving up to it, and I saw people around the building, and I'm like, I'll just go to McDonald's real quick, you know? So I drove down the road, got some food, came back. Line was about to go in the door. I'm like, here's my queue. I'll go right up here and, you know, get in. But yeah, I'm just.
Do you remember what the last midnight launch you attended?
The very last one I did was for Call of Duty. Well, I guess technically it was for the system. So when the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 4 came out, that was the last midnight release that, you know, I attended. Game wise was Modern Warfare 2 for 360, I think. But yeah, so I guess the systems were probably the last thing that I got. Yeah, I just don't.
NBA 2K15, I think.
Is that the one that you were like the sole person that showed up to that?
Maybe.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought that was the Travis special midnight release where you were the only one that showed up for it. I remember they used to schedule some of those midnight releases, and I'd look at them, I'd be like, ain't nobody coming to this. Like, nobody's coming to pick this game up. And
we may have talked about this before. Did you work the Ghostbusters one where they brought the Louisville Ghostbusters to the store and there was like 4 people there?
Yeah, there was like nobody came, and I'm like, ridiculous. You know, yeah, and they just made it into like these big old things. And I'm like, you know, unless it's a Call of Duty, a Halo, a Gears of War. I mean, like obviously there were some exceptions, but like unless it was something that's very well known, like people aren't showing up to get this game at midnight. So, I think the only game that didn't have a midnight release that I wanted, and I believe I texted you and I came up to Meyer and got it, was when Diablo 3 came out. And I think Xbox. It came out and I think it came out like on Xbox, and like the PC version was like just wrecked, of course. You know, it's never works. And I think I remember I think I lived in the apartments right across the street, and I'm like, hey, can I go over there and, you know, pick that up? And I also remember I asked you like 5 days in advance too. And you're like, yeah, no, we don't have it, which I know was in that cabinet. You just told me no, but you know, still, I was like, hey, you know, can I come over and get that? You're like, no, you can't. It's just like, all right, fine. But yeah, like I mean, I assume they're not a thing anymore, are they? Midnight releases? No. I mean, I would say most everybody I know is digital.
It's just the first day, like request to make sure they have enough product that you can pick it up when it gets released on launch day.
Yeah, like even that I don't believe is a thing anymore. Like back in the day, you know, like if you didn't, there were some games where like if you didn't reserve it, we may have 3 extra copies, you know, something like that, maybe, you know. But I mean, we would have stacks of games like on the counter, like just 5 and 6 rows of like 30 games, and like we go through all of them. I mean, we had tons and tons and tons of people there. I got the fire marshal called on GameStop one time because I let too many people in the door, and it was during a midnight release, and you know, they're like, you're supposed to be in charge of the line. I'm like, I'm trying to go home. And I was like, you know, I want to play the game too. It's like, so we're trying to get these people in and out. It's like, bring them up faster. But then we did that thing where we like pre-rang everybody up, and then they just handed us a receipt. We handed them a game, and then we were out there. Then our midnight releases were done in 15 minutes, and it, you know, wasn't a big old deal. So, well, that's all of the topics. We got through that a little bit quicker than
before we blast off of here.
Plan to.
Jake, what you got for us? What's this new collectible
product review? A little it's called the Aether from Thor: The Dark World. It's the Reality Stone. It's pretty neat. My buddy went to Disney World. I wanted to get it last year when I went, but I didn't make it, or they didn't have it. And I'm a big collector, super nerd. It's pretty neat. Makes cool sound.
Makes noise.
Oh yeah, it opens up.
At first I was like, oh, what? What's that?
So it's got a stone in it. Happening. Comes out. You have a little stone. Put it back in. it's like a touch thing too on the back where you could like barely touch it and swipe it. Sometimes
it works. Sometimes it doesn't.
I don't think I was touching the right place. There's a sensor at the bottom of the touch.
That's what she said.
Yeah. But got a little handle. It's pretty neat. Like I said, it goes with the rest of my collection. I've got now like 4 or 5 of the Infinity Stones. I got the gauntlet back here.
I want to say you need
everything.
You need to put that on, and right as soon as our intro, whenever we say goodbye, you just give us a snap, and then we'll just, we'll be out of here.
It was only $50. Comes with a nice little box kind of thing. Like I said, my buddy Tyler, shout out Tyler for getting it for me, man. It was I've been wanting it for a while, and I was worried they weren't going to sell them anymore. So now I've got like one more to get. But I built my own Tesseract, so
yeah,
I don't know. We'll see. Maybe next time I go to Disney, I'll buy it. But
next time,
yeah.
My kids went to Disney one time, and I hope they enjoyed it because that
we were gonna go this year, but we decided on the beach, so Disney's next year.
Yeah, so. No, I mean, so they went. Let's see, it's been 2 years because it was for Hazel's 7th birthday, I believe. So, or no, I guess it's only been it's been 2 years. So yeah, we went for that, and I'm just like, yeah, no, it's just never.
It's an investment.
Never.
You're happy.
Too rich for my blood.
An investment. It is a life-changing purchase, is what it is. So there's no reason that things. I remember my grandparents were talking about taking the kids to Disney. I mean, this has probably been 5 years ago, and even back then, like right before pre-COVID and all that stuff. Like, I mean, it was still outrageously expensive to be able to go, and now, I mean, just you might as well take out a loan.
Am I in the ballpark for like a week? Is it like $5,000 to $7,000?
Not even a week.
Depends on where you stay.
I mean, if you're going to go and stay at a resort, and you're going to go to Disney, you plan on going to like Universal and stuff like that, and like
Universal's insane.
Yeah, your wife and 2 kids. I mean, it's 6. If you're going to fly on top of it instead of drive, I mean, then you add another. I mean, like, yeah, you're 6, 7, 8. Just depends on where you want to stay.
I would just watch The Lion King here. Maybe throw on Jurassic Park.
Yeah, that'd be me.
Hey,
be like,
go
to Disney. But did you say Disney Plus? All right, like we'll turn that on. Like no problem.
We went to a travel lady, and she got us our mark thing down. I think like with the discounts and stuff, because if you book it like early kind of thing and pay off in increments, they'll do like promos towards your account. And I think ours was like $3,200 out the door, dude.
Oh,
that was for 3 park days, 7 days, 6 nights, something like that. It wasn't that bad at all. And granted, that wasn't like souvenirs and stuff. We didn't do the meal plan, but I didn't find myself eating a whole lot either. It was. I said if we could get it that price every time, I'll go once a year for $3,200. But we're not going.
I wouldn't. So yeah. Sorry, kids. Jake's better dad than me. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm just a fucking
He's going to Disney. Man. We're watching Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Don't know what to tell you. Just get over it. So
just go live in Jake's house if you want to go to his dreams.
Yeah, maybe you should ask me for all the damn Robux. So
I'll just Thanos snap your kid's dreams real quick.
Hey, I need that. That looks cool.
Pretty sick.
Yeah.
So they make, and of course Disney do. They make, so they have like each one of those Infinity Stones. Then you could buy a glove too, the Infinity Gauntlet, where you could actually put the stones inside of. And not only do they have that version, like Thanos's, they have an Iron Man one. Now they also have a Wakanda version. It's like, dude, they keep just shitting out the money, dude. It's insane.
I need to stay off the internet because I'll end up buying a bunch of stuff I don't need. So,
oh yeah,
Oh, yeah, just like the other episode we talked about. We went to Buc-ee's. I got this. Nice. I don't know why. This was dumb. Like, why did I need this? I could have just said, oh, speaking of, I don't know if this is true or not, but I read that. Have you heard about the stuff with the Buc-ee's co-founder's son?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Have you heard about this, Travis? So
No,
apparently, I don't know all the details, whatever, but so apparently he like put like secret spy cameras in like side of a lake house or something that they
put him in the
owned.
bathrooms.
Well, see, it was actually the lake house, and then the story got twisted to say that he was putting him in the stores inside of the actual Buc-ee's. And so, yeah. Well, the funny thing was, is the way that I found about so I was like scrolling through TikTok, and some lady popped up, and she was, talking about it, and she goes, hey, she goes, I love Buc-ee's. She's like, so if he wants to see the color of my starfish,
wow,
I'm still gonna go back to the store. I was like, that's pushing it. I was like, but I was like,
wow.
if you, dude, I guess you got to get some of the Buc-ee Nuts Subway
sandwich.
So, yeah,
unbelievable.
All right. Well, now that is all. So,
what a way to close.
Yeah, if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. We got a bunch of people that I guess are like discovering the podcast now. So like all of the old episodes that are like, I guess coming up on a year old, like are like doubling the amount of people that we had watching them before, which is cool and all, but we need those numbers to be on the new episodes as well, and not just on all of the old ones. So if you haven't, like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, send it to your friends. Everybody loves video games, so it should be entertaining for everybody. And then until next time, goodbye.
Bye.
See you.